Hey guys, so I managed to snap an antenna off, the second antenna off my FrSky D4R-II. First one I managed to just clip back on and hot glue it on, and then today I've actually torn the entire cable out. So I've cut off all the cardboard here, all the rubbish, all the plastic that it was just holding on. That piece of plastic was just holding on um, cardboard basically, but this is the D4R-II stripped back down to, I guess, just the board. A little piece of foam here which is really inconveniently stuck right onto the board. So I pulled most of it off here, but it's a bit of a pain. Wish I didn't do it. But anyway, so FrSky released a XSR. I think it's an upgraded version of the X4R, similar specs, but basically the antennas are soldered on. The chip itself is just basically heat shrinked, and as a bare board like this, doesn't have the crappy cardboard around it, which cardboard's nice, but it just gets in the way, especially when you've got to repair stuff as frequently as we do. But basically what I'm going to try to do today is with my D4R-II is to try and salvage, well, both the board and the antennas. As you can see here, the clip that popped onto the board was still actually attached to the board, and when I landed my quad, the antenna was stripped out of the clip, and that clip is tiny, so I won't be able to get that back in. So what I'm hoping I can do is, well, I might leave the clip on the second antenna after I get rid of the heat shrink and all that. But what I might try and do is, like the XSR, I might try and solder the antennas back onto the top, because this bit up the top is pretty much the most important bit. And then you've got down the cable, you've got the outer sheath, you've got a couple of other layers, and then that little cable, obviously the one in the middle, is probably the most important bit for receiving and transmitting. But I'm going to give it a shot here with my little Duratec heat. I don't know, what is a heat gun? It blows out a lot of heat actually. It's a little butane thing, and it's also got a soldering iron tip on it, so it's quite useful. I'm just using matches at the moment to light it, because I don't have a lighter, or haven't been to the shops to buy a lighter. But it's actually quite a good little tool. This thing's completely portable. It fills up on a can of butane. It's just liquefied petroleum gas safety refiller, it's called. I got it here in my hand. It's I don't know, it's about 150 grams and $6 from electronic shop. So this little gas torch is really good, and I can do heat shrink, and I can do basic soldering with it. It's not perfect, but it's really good for on the fields, you know, on the run, and where I don't have to set up a whole workshop. But pumps out quite a lot of heat actually. I've burnt myself quite a few times on it, and as you can see on my green mat there, I've let it accidentally burn in. So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and, well, as you can see here in the video, I'm about to solder it. I think I get to the point where I tin the connector, and I also try and tin the cable, the antenna itself, with not much success. The solder doesn't really stick to the cable, probably because it's mostly covered in a plastic sheath, and it's not exactly the biggest cable in the world. But hopefully I can salvage the antennas and do away with the clips, which really aren't that useful. They're nice just to click in, but they pop out so easily, super easily, and glue really is not ideal. So if I can just solder them and get away with it, it'd be nice. As you can see here, I'm just basically dropping some solder into the pots of the antenna, really just hoping for a good result here. I have no idea if I'm going to ruin this board or not. I hope I don't, but you know, it'll be a good experiment, I guess. See if it will work, and hopefully make the whole D4R-II just a lot more stable, and stop these antennas from ripping out and unclipping. So I sort of successfully tinned a little bit of solder onto the antenna, and here I'll try and solder into the pots, the cable, just basically directly into those little clips on the board. The first antenna doesn't have the little gold clip on it because it tore out completely, and it seems to have taken really well. The solder seems to be really solid, and it's covered the entire cable and connector and looks quite decent, so I'm hoping for the best here. But the second antenna here has the gold clip on it, so I've left the clip on it just to compare both, and plus I don't really want to pull out a good clip or ruin a good clip on the end of the antenna for no real reason. I mean, I'm going to ruin it obviously by dipping it in molten solder, but at least it gives me the option of cutting off the clip if everything goes to the dogs. But here I sort of fiddle around trying to get it down. It's actually a lot more difficult to get the clip down into the solder and get it sitting neatly. The first antenna that was just the wire and the outer sheath was really simple. Basically just got the solder wet and then popped it straight in, and it dried almost instantly. So this one here I'm fiddling around a bit more. It's a bit more of a fiddle, but I guess it's just a case of being able to push it down, and I might get it to click. I think I do eventually get it to click here, pop in. But these antennas they seem to be rock solid. They're not coming out. They are certainly fixed to the board now. So the next stage now for me is I've got a bit of heat shrink I bought, and I'm going to hopefully heat shrink it instead of having the cardboard, and obviously no electrical tape, but yeah, heat shrink it to the actual quad.